video where we are tackling the graduate entry medical program, the application process, and what it takes to get in. So in this section of this video, we're going to be talking about the access course. What is it? What courses are taught? How is the exam like? And what do you need to do to prepare for it? And we have Martin Van Zee here to take us through all of these burning questions. So Martin, let's get the ball rolling. What is the access course?
The access course is basically a crash course. I have to admit it's a crash course because it's usually for 2 weeks where you come and you do at least some of the basic things they need you to know, from which they will do a test to test all of you before they can at least select some for an interview. So the access course is just a crash course for 2 weeks. Usually covers 9 topics and 9 subjects also. Yes, 9 subjects, and we have mathematics, we have English language, we have physics, we have the chemistry, we have biology, we have anatomy, microbiology, pharmacology, physiology, and biochemistry. So 9 in total.
Okay. And then there was critical thinking too.
Yes, at our time they took it it's English and critical thinking, but right now they've made into one.
Oh, okay, that's nice. We never had, so the funny thing that happened during that time was we never had a class on critical thinking. We didn't know who would be examined on it. So the day of the exam comes and it's like, critical, what's critical thinking? Everybody was so fasted.
So by the time, what actually happened was that the critical thinking, they said it will come. I mean, critical thinking means think critically. So they won't teach you in class, but they will come in the exams as well. So they always do that. Yes, it's not something they will teach, but it's something they expect you to know. Certain things that they have to think about it. So that's why the English is really like, and you go there, and the questions are facing you, must also face them.
Okay, so during these 2 weeks, how do you get accommodation? How do you get around in town? Because it's all the courses are taught on site here at College. So do you know any suggestions we have?
Yes, everything is taught there on College campus, and unfortunately, the university, you are not a university student, so you get admission. You are not a university student, so you get admission. So usually, what we do is to at least look for some hostels, okay? And there are certain, at least some hostels that we have. Right now, we have Royal Lady. There's a hostel that's just not far away, Royal Lady. We have the Zone, so it's managed by the same person that are not far away. And we have the same many hostel that is close to, I think, Agidi Zone 6.
Yeah, I stayed there.
It's okay. And right now, we have a hostel, a Senate hostel at the Booking Box and Arena. There's a hostel there as well. And there are certain hostels at like a Radio Group, we have Japsol there, we have House of Blessing. There are quite some number of hostels that are around. So the advice is this: people always want to wait and get selected before they start looking for accommodation. You'll be too late. By the time you do that, you'll be too late. Because usually last year there were almost 400 people, and many of them, even if you're staying in Accra, some people are staying in Kaswa, it's far away places. By the time you finish the lectures around sometime 4 p.m., 4:30, you are tired. So the advice I would give would be that, well, if you can afford it, the hostels are not that expensive. A month should be like maybe 450 for your next place. So you can get a place at least to stay for the hostel. But these are the places that are there. If you go online, you'll be able to find Royal Lady, you'll be able to find the Zoom, the Booking Box and Arena, and just to have those are some of the few hostels you can get. Because bear in mind, the access course, they do not provide you accommodation. The school hostels are not for you yet. You get to the school when you are going to clinical year. So if you think the 3,000 you'll be paying to cover that, it doesn't include that. So you have to find your own ways of doing that. Yes.
Okay, that's fine. So apart from the courses that are taught, what's a typical day in access course students' life?
Okay. So usually on the first day, everyone is typical day. Let me use mine. On the first day, for example, lectures will start at 9 a.m. And usually some people, many people come by 7. You don't want to come by 7. Apart from difficulty in locating your classroom because it's a new place, but it's not hard to do. I mean, either you have it at the CHS or you have it at MB3 or the Osenkani lecture hall. Those are the three places they will usually use. Classes start at 9 a.m. Then whichever lecture comes, I mean, the lectures in the case of Canada are very good. They try to make you feel at home, they make you scared and all that. I think our time, the dean and then the game coordinators, they all came to introduce themselves, let us know what this is, and we are not supposed to suddenly quit your job because you applied for game, because you are not guaranteed. Nobody's guaranteed. It's only your hard work that can guarantee your place. Lectures start at 9. Is it 8 or 9? I'm not so certain. 9. Then you have a short break for 30 minutes. I think 10:30 there. Then at 1 p.m. your lunch will come. The 3,000 you're paying for you when you lunch and water. So at 1 p.m. the lunch will come. Then typically lectures end at 4 p.m. But there are certain topics like the English and critical thinking. Every day it will end at somewhere 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Always exclusively. Then on the first day as well, when people are sharing the food, you know, the food will come. They ask the class, please come home and even watch one. By the 10th day, they are running for the food. Everybody's running to get the food. Yes, that's usually, typically that's how a game day is like. There are those that will be shy. I mean, they will come, they know the thing, but they don't say, they don't want other people to know that they don't know, so they will be shy. There are those that already know others, they will come, they will make friends. There are those that will come and they will feel like Charlie. There are too many. Especially when the dean comes and says, so this year they're looking to pick 80 or 85. Then they say, in my class alone, they're like 100. So what you so usually, I mean, on the first day, especially first week, people are either motivated to learn or people are demoralized because of some. But usually that's what usually happens.
And I think during my time for the access course, I really felt like it was very competitive. Because you'd come and everyone is like, oh, I wake up at this time, wake up at 4 a.m. to study. When I go home, I'm not tired, I don't sleep. I was just like, hey, God, what am I doing here? So I remember I was super stressed, both by the amount of content they are pushing into you within those 2 weeks, and also by the competitive environment that I was in. And because of that, I let fear get to me at some point, but thankfully I was able to overcome it. I mean, I'm here now. My God's grace.
Final year.
Yes, I'm in final year.
Doing access course, the library, your own library, you go there, it's full. People doing access course have taken over. I mean, you go to the hostels and it's full. I mean, access course time is not a dream. Honestly, it's not a dream because you see people really want it. People really, they try that. People have tried more than 2 or 3 times and they want it and all that. And those who have just come out of university, they are not joking as well. So it's a competitive process.
That's right. So let's round this up by talking about the exams. How long is it? And how intense is this exam?
Okay, so after the access course is for 2 weeks. So after the list is released, they give you a week for you to pay the 3,000. Like I said, the 3,000, whether you won't come for the class or you come for the class, you still have to pay because that day it caters for the 2 weeks of food, water, caters for your exams, it caters for what else again? On the day of the exam, they give you food as well. So the 3,000 there, whether you don't want to come for the classes or you want to come, you still pay for it. After that is done, after the 2 weeks of lectures is done, there's a week of revision. So the exams usually return in February. So usually the second week in February. Usually on a Tuesday. Ours was, I think mine I wrote it on Val's Day. Val's Day. Val's Day. You are joking. It's not for you. Val's Day. So usually the exams will be written on a Tuesday. Then the Wednesday usually the results will come. Then Thursday, Friday is when the interviews happen. So the exams this side usually is in 3 parts. But all of it is objectives, right? It's shady. You don't, of course, you have to solve the maths and others, but you don't have to write anything. It's shady. So usually we have it in 3 parts: part A, part B, and part C. So the part A is English language and mathematics. Usually the English language will be about, I think, 100 plus questions. The maths will be, I think, 20 or 40. And usually that starts at 8 to about 10 or 8 to 11. Usually that one is 3 hours, so 8 to 11. Then you have a break for, I think, 30 minutes. Then you come back, come and write paper 2. Paper 2 is physics, chemistry, and biology. I think the physics is 20 questions or so, and the chemistry is about 35, then the biology is about 35 or 40. So the paper 2 in total is about 100 questions. Then you have the paper 3. No, after the paper 2 is done, the paper 2 can stress you. Let me stress on that.
I do like physics. I struggled so hard to learn the physics.
This is crap from Presec, the time in Presec, I don't see income. Now you're done with physics. The physics will stress you. That's the problem. And for paper 2 as well, I think the hour was just 1 hour. Was it 1 hour, 1 hour 20 minutes? Imagine you have to physics, you have to most of the values you have to convert it to the standard unit before you calculate and all that. So it was a lot. So paper 2, for anyone applying, let me just give you this. Paper 2, if you don't take it, the time will be 2. That's a fact. That's a business, and it's a quite talk. After the paper 2, then they bring lunch. By then, some people don't even want to eat the lunch. But you are drunk. And then after that, then you have the paper 3. Paper 3 will be the microbiology. We have the anatomy, you have physiology, you have pharmacology, then the molecular biology. And I think in the paper 3, most people too, they have problem with the molecular biology because they don't do that undergrad or they don't do it well. So in this place, usually those who have biochemistry background, they have a bit of advantage. I mean, from usual teaching to quality so usually that's how it's done. So from 8 to 11, then 11:30 to about 1. Then from then you go on break, then you come and read paper 2 from 2 to about 4 p.m. and you are done. You go home Wednesday by evening, the results are out. Even that, there were days that sometimes you're writing the paper 2, then the doctor will come in and say, hey, give you instructions, shade your index number, don't shade it. You don't have time to go and do contact tracing, you don't find it. So usually they are very quick with that, they get it done. Then those who are successful, you go through and you do the interview. But just make sure that the exams is about 80%, then the interview is 20%. The higher your score in the exam, they add the 20% of the interview to it, then they are good to go. So those who are thinking Legon is about protocol, it's not about protocol.
Just work really hard.
If the exams is about 80%, you score 60. Good to go. Right?
And I think another thing I'll add about the exam is that it's all about strategy. So because I knew that I have a background in biomedical science, so because I knew that the basic sciences, I kind of have exposure to that. When I was studying, I put energy there, but I didn't really focus too much on it because I knew that, these are stuff I know. But the other aspects that I knew that I didn't know so well, I put in so much energy. So when the time for the exams came, I knew that the physics, even if they give me a whole month, I will not understand. So I decided to, sacrifice some and gain the rest. So I think that was my strategy for the exam. I made peace with the fact that there are some parts of the exam that I won't let waste my time. Because the time is not okay enough for you to complete all of the questions given to you. So you just have to pick your battles wisely and just pray to God that it works out.
I think my background is a physician assistantship. So as for the anatomy, before I got there, I knew how to study anatomical vision. I knew what the star, proxima, whatever was. So that was okay. Pharmacology, I did pharmacology as well. Microbiology, I had done microbiology as well. And biology is reading, so reading is also good. And then the English is also sort of reading a bit. And so what I needed to polish up was my mathematics, the chemistry too. We got to the organic, I quit it. Then the physics, I was just hoping that at least part of it will be written. Part of it will be statement form. I don't have to solve. What is the property of paramagnetism or something? The physics was the same thing. But some people were good in the physics, so it was an advantage to them. But like you said, you pick your battles wisely. So those ones that I knew I could improve on, I did. The mathematics, I focused on it a bit. The chemistry, I did the part I could do. The molecular biology, like I said, that's the biochemistry. It wasn't something I did properly. But when computer is teaching, telling you transcription factor, blah, blah, blah.
You understand.
I did. And so, yes, it's all about strategy. It's not about, if you try to get everything, there are those that try and get everything, they'll get it. And there's those that realize that the physics, like you said, if they give me 1 year, that's all the things I don't know. I don't even know what formulas it is. So, yes, because I also made my peace with it. And here I am, about to enter first year.
So, with the passing of the exam, pass mark? Because my time they just took like the first 100. So if like maybe it's out of 100, if let's say the top 100, we have 400 that wrote the exam, the top 100 out of the 400 are the people who moved to interview. Has that changed, or is there like a definite pass mark?
No, that hasn't changed actually. Okay. So my time, I think we're 170 that were picked for the exam, for the interview. So usually the exams is done, all of you have your index numbers, they put in an Excel. Then where they want to cut the line, they cut it. So there's no, there can be a year where they can decide that if they want to interview, let's say 120 people, they want the 120th person. If he has 10, that will be the pass mark. If he has 60, that will be the pass mark. Last year, I think they interviewed about 130 or so people. I don't know what the pass mark was, but it has never changed. So there's no pass mark. There's nothing like try and get 40. You can get 40 and that will be the pass mark, depending on how the others perform. So to be safe, just try as much as possible to hit a high score. Then whatever they cut the line, then
I think to round things up on the exam, another thing I remember very distinctively was that in the basic science aspect of the exam, the molecular biology was a lot. It was a lot. So if you are studying for this particular exam, make sure you're biochemistry or molecular biology. Do not miss Jujo's class. That is like a law. He's going to teach you very well. Make sure you understand it. If you don't understand it, go back, learn from day one. Don't wait for it to pile up. That's another thing. In access course, we don't do backlogs. When you enter the medical school, they do
the backlog. As I'm sitting here, I have backlogs from girl phase, but I've moved on.
Right.
Yes, true.
When you enter, you can do backlogs. But access course, you don't do any backlogs. Make sure you understand everything, particularly with the molecular biology aspect.
For him, his questions are usually, if not 35, 40. So the paper 3, his questions are the most. Because my time, his was like 35. Anatomy was second because it's taught by 3 different lecturers. So yes, was like either 25 or something. We have physiology about 10, and we have pharmacology about physiology like 15 or 11. Pharmacology. The least would be microbiology because that would be like maybe 9 or 10 questions. But the paper 3, the one that takes a lot of questions would be the molecular biology. Like I said, it's taught by Jujo. I mean, he's taught this course for almost more than 10 years, so he can see the whole thing with his eyes closed. You can't miss it. The man and his teaching is giving away some of those questions. He's giving some. There's always a question I saw about sickle cell, C and S. Why is it that the S is more severe than the C? Whether you like it or not, that question will come. I'll give you the first question. I
know, right? So after passing, fingers crossed, you write pass. What's next?
So after passing, when you are now in the exams, the exams is this whole process. You have palpitations, three different ones. You are praying that your documents will be good enough so that you are selected to come and do the exam. Let's not kid ourselves. It's not everybody that applied that will be selected to come and do the access code. Right? I mean, last year they did better in that some people submitted documents that they had issues with, so they called them for them to give other documents. I know a friend of mine, he had to go to Fiji so that he can go and collect his real series or they had to call him, and he got in. So this year I hope that they will be so generous and so. So usually praying that your name is part of those that will come for the classes is one, because if they omit your name, there's nothing that can be done about it. That's the first palpitation. The second one will be when you are done, you write the exams. You want at least when they'll post it there. Either they'll send email. My time they posted the result, but last year they sent emails to them that Mr. Blah blah blah, you've passed the exams. Come for an interview at this place at this time. That means you passed the exams. You don't know what your score is, but you passed the exam. You have to. I mean, that's the second palpitation. Hoping that after the exams, you'll be given an email for you to come and justify yourself that at the interview. After the interview, you are now waiting. You are waiting. When they see the results have been released, when you check admission list, you put your surname. When I check, Banzie. Hey! Actually, it was a friend that told me. I was waiting for my result. The result wasn't coming. Then I slept. When I heard that the result had come, my friend called me and said, "Oh, man, I heard the results have come." I was sleeping. Hey, man, don't come on. Oh, this one I knew I was getting it back. He said, oh, don't worry, I've checked. We are in. It's not easy. So usually that's what happens. After the exams is done, you move into the interview. And this is a professional interview. My time as well, it was just one panel. And the panel was at the Medical School Administration, the conference. But I think since last year, where there was not 2 panels. One will be at the Medical School Administration, the second one will be at community health. Yeah, so it's now 2 panels. I think last year they did that because of the number. I think when they had 7 people, because the interview is supposed to be over 2 days, so 2 panels, and you go for the interview and those 2 panels.
Okay, thank you so much. So this kind of ties part 2 together nicely. I hope it's been helpful for all those that are watching. In the next part, we are going to zoom into the interview process, talk more about it, how to dress, how to speak, how to carry yourself when you get there, how do you greet people, all of those little things. We got you. So we'll talk about that in part 3. So make sure that you stay tuned for that. So we'll pause this here and see you in the next part. Bye.